Success. Media. Network. 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 Network.
This is your show.
Good day, Successors. I'm Antonio Holman, and welcome to the 4 Principles of Success, number 47, where I chat with successful people and entrepreneurs about how they enhance their businesses and lives in the areas of knowledge, health, wealth, and spirituality. And if you want to learn how I've stayed motivated throughout the years, check out my new book, Indulge Your Affirmative Motivation Within, 25 Motivations of Personal Development and Life Success, now on Amazon. Today, we're talking to Alan Vaysberg. Alan is located in the Chicagoland area of Illinois and is a life recalibration expert, author of the new Love Triangle, and the creator of the Seamless Method, which facilitates people's transition from unfulfilled and stressed to doing what they love and being at peace. Alan writes and speaks on life purpose, career change, work-life balance, and the recalibration process, where he runs online programs helping people recalibrate their lives. Alan, are you ready to help our listeners prepare for success?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Alan, aside from your busy business world, tell us a little bit about your personal life.
Interesting. How long is the show? I'm a father. I have 2 wonderful children, a extremely patient and understanding wife, a rescued dog, and I love tennis. I love Cubs. Go Cubs, by the way. And
that's a dirty word here since I'm in St. Louis, by the way.
See, I don't have any feelings of negativity against St. Louis. I've always admired their success in a really class organization. So, good. It's good for us, but it was good for you guys for about 40 years or so.
Yeah.
We're enjoying the ride. Let's put it that way. It's sports, it's acting, it's entertainment, but in reality, I'm a writer. I love writing poetry. Poetry to me is of the rhyming variety. That's how I write. That's my preference. I grew up in a household that was a very poetic household. So it's in the blood, and I continue with it. Mostly it's about observations and spirituality. Sometimes it's about politics, and it depends. So it's regular guy stuff. But my essence is trying to help to inspire people to be better, to learn who they are, and to see how we can change their lives in order to allow them to be themselves in its best expression.
All right, Alan. So what is a recalibration expert, and what does a recalibration expert do, and what inspired you to get into this field of expertise in the first place?
Yeah, so recalibration to me is the process of attunement to basically who you are, to your essence. And that deals with many areas. That deals with first understanding who you are, and then knowing what you love, knowing what makes you tick, knowing what is your mission in life, and trying to align everything around that. And that means your job, that means your relationships, that means your outlook on life. So it's a holistic process of looking at your physical, emotional, and work wellness and aligning all 3. How I got started in it is, in 2012, I was at the height of my financial and business successes, but I felt miserable and I was unhealthy. So I quit that job and I quit that lifestyle, to dismay of everybody around me. And I set out to find myself and to recalibrate. I didn't know, exactly what that meant. And, I took acting classes. I did a movie. I did radio. I took martial arts and finally got my black belt. I did a whole bunch of stuff until I learned much more about who I am, made a ton of mistakes along the way, went in a lot of different directions until I got to who I am. And I wanted to help others do the same without making all of the mistakes. So recalibration to me was just a ability to share my experiences and utilize the tools that I have developed in order to help other people do the same.
As mentioned in your bio, What is the seamless method?
The seamless method, again, started right there in 2012. It's essentially 8 things that we all know we're supposed to be doing, but we don't do on a regular basis. So I needed to create a way for very busy people who are well-meaning to create a system that allows them to do all of these 8 natural, holistic elements that will make their life better in every way, in terms of relationships, in terms of health, in terms of wellness, in terms of happiness. So seamless is an acronym for those 8.
In what 3 main areas of life do most people tend to need recalibration?
Job, a relationship with themselves, and then ability to be happy throughout the day.
That's good, because you said relationship with themselves, and most people tend to really miss that very important aspect of living. Yeah.
Yep.
You've written the book, The New Love Triangle. Tell us what inspired you to write it, and how does it play a role in recalibration?
It's an extension of Seamless. It's actually one of the 8 facets of Seamless love. And as I was teaching my Seamless courses and I was developing the structure, I knew that this is something that I had to dive deeper into, because it's the 3 types of love. So the New Love Triangle is really trying to change the paradigm of learning how to love yourself, learning how to love others, and then finishing that up by learning how to love your day.
Learning how to love your day.
Yes.
That's powerful to me. And learning how to love your day. Now, elaborate a little bit on that. When you mean learn to love your day, do you mean create your life to where you love the things that you do on a daily basis?
And that would be the ultimate goal. For most people, that's not readily available or attainable in a quick manner. So learning to love your day is ability in any situation that you're in right now to find something in it that you enjoy, because most of us do something that we don't necessarily love for a living. So to spend most of the day doing that and then thinking before about doing that and then thinking after about doing that, that allows you not to enjoy life for the most part. And we do not want that, because you cannot love yourself and love others while hating your day. So it's specific tips and tricks on how you can actually love every day, regardless of what you're doing, your financial background, the type of job that you have. And it's very, very powerful, but small things that you can do without adding any extra time to your already busy life.
Mm-hmm. When writing the New Love Triangle, who was your target audience that you had in mind? Who was that person? What was their life like, and what was their struggles that you were trying to help them with?
There was no person specifically, and my marketing brain immediately tells me to get more focused. But as I was writing it, I really wrote what I wanted to say, and I knew that there would be people out there that were ready to hear it. But in terms of an audience, it's really probably more female-oriented, because a lot of the people that I work with, women seem to be a little bit more open-minded and ready to make changes. So it's somebody who's open-minded, somebody who is a professional, somebody who's really, really busy and tries to figure out how to deal in that world and satisfy all of the relationships in their life, including themselves, others, and then their day.
Do you feel that females tend to be more relationship-minded, much more than males are?
I'm not going to say much more, but I can tell you this way. When I go to any seminar on spirituality or wellness, at least the ones that I have been to, it's usually 95 to 97% women, and the rest men. I usually swim in the sea of women when I go anywhere, which sounds weird now that I say it.
Yeah. What have you come to find to be the 3 main difficulties in marital relationships, and why do they arise in the first place?
Number 1 is wrong expectations. Number 2 is not knowing who you are. And then number 3, not loving the other person the way they want to be loved.
Why do those things happen in the first place? Because people, well, okay, in a perfect world, people they enter into marriage with those thoughts of love and caring and sharing and things. What is the illusion that happens, and after the marriage or the honeymoon's over or a few years pass? What is that changes and that happens to where people wake up and they go, wait a second, this is really not what I want?
Well, so that's a key phrase right there. This is really not something that I want. The biggest downturn of any relationship is focusing on the I, and most people, are thinking, is the other person making me happy? Are they doing something that I agree with? It's not about I. It's about the relationship. It's about you being there for the other person, understanding them. And then if they do the same for you, then you have a balance and a harmony. That does not mean that you need to be in an abusive relationship. That does not, we're not talking about any outside of bounds things. But in a regular relationship, the focus is not on I. And that's where many people lose that, because they focus, well, I wouldn't do this, or I think differently. Good for you. It's nice that you know yourself. In a relationship, it's not the compromise. It's the ability to understand the other and then have the other understand you.
Okay, so you should focus on what you can do for the other person.
Yes, because that's why you entered into marriage. You entered into marriage because you love the other person, not because you want them to love you. Now, that is a very powerful small distinction, and obviously we want the other people to love us. But if the reason you entered into marriage because the other person makes you feel a certain way, and then all of a sudden they stop making you feel a certain way, it has a lot more to do with you than them. And that is why many marriages fail. I usually ask the question of, did you get married because you love the other person or because they make you happy? And if you answer because they make you happy, then the marriage usually has trouble.
That's very powerful. I love that. As we all know, life's full of ups and downs, and nothing ever stays positive and good all the time. Throughout your journey, what was the time you felt most unsuccessful?
When my business was making the most money, and I was walking into the office and everybody thought everything was wonderful, and I hated every moment of it because I knew that it was not aligned with who I was. I knew that being in the corporate environment at that time, based on the person who I was at that time, was very toxic. And I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't breathe. And I wanted to do so many other things, and I never thought of myself as, the person in the IT world. I thought of myself as an actor, as a speaker, as a writer, and I wasn't doing any of that. So the inability to be who I was, or at least who I thought I was at the moment, was sickening. And I had to quit that. So at the height of my financial and business success, when to the outside world everything seemed rosy and shiny, I was a nervous wreck, and I hated every moment of it.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. That's powerful too. I think you touch on a lot of personal things for a lot of listeners out there. That's good.
Well, and to me, I don't believe in secrets. I believe in keeping other people's secrets. But in terms of my own life, I don't like having secrets. The point of sharing and the point of being a speaker and a writer is ability to tell people exactly what's going on so they can relate to that. How can you be authentic if you're presenting a picture that is not the reality? So I share a lot of personal details in the new Love Triangle. My wife had to edit some of them and asked me not to put them in because I was going a little too much based on her comfort level. But that's what people can expect from me. When they work with me, they'll know exactly who I am. There's no secret.
What do you feel was one of the hardest things in your business to overcome that you've since conquered?
Expecting people to be who I want them to be. That means in terms of clients, that means in terms of people working for me. I like, as you can tell based on my previous statement, I like open, honest communication without agendas. And what I find in business and what I find, unfortunately, is that a lot of people are not wired that way. And that has been the most disappointing part to me, to handle that I have to play the other game, and I don't like playing. To me, that's not the acting that I want to do. So I can't say that I've conquered it, but I can say that I understand it enough not to get triggered by it.
What was your most challenging client-related situation, and how did you resolve it?
Well, I'm not sure that I resolved it. Well, I'll give you two examples. So one, when I say I didn't resolve it, was the client promised certain aspects, and then they didn't deliver because they were playing me in a way. And I resolved it by saying, I don't appreciate what you did, and I walked away. So I'm not sure that is what we call resolve. It's more of, I decided I'm not going to deal with that client in that situation. But the positive aspect of previous instances was when my business partner and I started a company. At that time, the business partner was a manager in a firm that I was consulting at. So he couldn't be a manager and have us start a business. That would not be ethical. So what I recommended and what we did was go to the CIO of the company and tell them, here's your notice of as long as you need to find a replacement for the manager, for my business partner. We're starting a company. We know at any point you can tell us to go away, and we completely understand, but we like you. We want to continue working with you, and we want to make sure that everything is in the open. And the response from the CIO was exceptionally positive. He appreciated our openness. He said that he likes the work that we're doing. He's going to replace the manager when he has a chance, and we have an open-ended contract. And I was with that client for over 6 years. So to me, again, open and honest communication, ability for the client to understand that you have their best interest at heart and you don't have any agenda. You're there to do your job, and you're not there to create politics.
What one thing in your business are you currently struggling to overcome?
Inability to focus on a particular area, because I think I can help everyone. And I know that I'm supposed to help and focus on a specific area, because from a marketing perspective, that's the way for people to understand what I do. So I still struggle with that. I know the right thing to do, and yet I focus on all of the aspects because I am holistic by nature.
I think that's a big struggle for a lot of people. That's definitely, that's a struggle I'm having. Yeah, I think I have about 4 or 5 projects going at once, and focus is a challenge. Yeah. What do you feel is your one biggest business triumph to date?
My ability to look at anything and know how to make it better. I started 2 businesses from nothing and grew them into multi-million-dollar corporations. Now that sounds amazing. In one case it was over $1 million, in the other case it was $2.5 million, which is no small achievement, but it sounds like it's millions and millions and millions. So that is a talent, to take something, to organize it, to sell it, to create a brand, to know how to drive it, to contact the right people, establish relationships. I am very good at that.
What do you feel is your one biggest personal triumph today?
My wife still being with me after almost 18 years of marriage, with everything that I put her through, with me trying to find myself, with me being a writer, and with me being an actor, with me being an IT guy, quitting my multi-million-dollar IT business just to find myself. God bless my wife for sticking with me.
Yeah. What do you feel is what is the thing that keeps her there to help you stay grounded, to stay focused on the relationship? Well, what is that ability that she has?
She's the one that taught me open and honest communication. I was always open, but ability to have tough conversations. I didn't want to do that initially because I don't want unhappiness. I want happiness. I want everybody to be wonderful. I want to focus on the positive things in life. That's kind of my preset. With my wife, with our first child, after we had our daughter, I thought I was a wonderful father. But after a year, I think a year and a half into it, my wife sat me down and said, buddy, you are not doing your job. You're not putting in your 50%. If you don't shape up, I'm not sure I'm going to divorce you, but I'm definitely not having any more children with you. That hit me like a ton of bricks. And thankfully, I had enough maturity not to shut down and get defensive, but to listen to what she was saying, understand that she was right, and change my ways. And we have 2 children. So thank God to my wife for having the honesty and maturity to have that sit down with me and open on honest communication. Otherwise, I'm not sure what our marriage would have been. So that is her one of her biggest gifts.
Wow, that's good. Hang tight, successors. We'll return to our conversation with Alan Vaysberg as well as quick success after a word from our sponsors. Podcasters, want more listeners? Check out promosharecast.com and join the community today. That's promosharecast.com. Join today and get the first month free, and you'll also receive 50% off for a lifetime membership. Sign up today. promosharecast.com. Are you a tense, tired, busy person who works day in and day out who tends to lack the proper sleep and energy? Using modular supplements, health-related articles, recipes, life hacks, and more, Bellison can help. With quality as high as Bellison, you're buying from a company that cares about the environment and only uses premium vegan supplements. That's Bellison.com. Want to learn how to cook healthy, exercise, and meditate in just 30 minutes a day? Bellison.com. Want to feel healthy, energetic, and focused like me? Bellison.com. To receive a 10% discount at checkout, visit Bellison.com with the coupon code THE4POS. Visit Bellison.com now. That's BELISAN.com. Compassion and quality without compromise. Bellison.com. And we're back with coach and best-selling author Alan Vaysberg. Now we get into the part of the show I like to call Quick Success, where you, Alan, can inspire the successors to enhance their lives in the areas of knowledge, health, wealth, and spirituality. Alan, what are you currently doing to enhance your knowledge?
Continue discovering who I am and different facets of it. So know thyself. Continue in that discovery.
What are you currently doing to enhance your health?
Well, I had my arm broken about 6 weeks ago. So currently what I'm doing is trying to mend it back to health after having my cast removed. But in general, I am going back to the basics and trying to practice seamless.
Wow. What were you doing that broke your arm?
Thank you for following that through. I was showing off. I was in Portland, Oregon with my wife. We took a Segway tour, and I feel very comfortable on a Segway. And there were slow people ahead of me. I decided to show off and go off-road and pass them by, which I've done before successfully. This time I ran over tree roots, and Segway didn't like the lack of balance, threw me on the pavement. So I had a distal radial fracture of left wrist.
Wow. Glad you're all right.
Yeah, me too. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. What are you currently doing to enhance your wealth?
It's a good question. I have been asking myself that specific question because the answer is simple to me. I know what I can do to get back into the level that I'm comfortable at financially. I'm doing consulting right now, so I'm doing really well. But for me to make more money quickly, I'd have to start my business in IT, which I do not want to do. So I've tried to continue to do my other things and try to get writing and speaking and other elements that I truly enjoy to start paying more so I can focus on them full time. And then that should get me to a next level. So I'm debating, just to answer your question.
What are you currently doing to enhance your spirituality?
Meditation. I'm trying to meditate because spirituality is within. Spirituality is receiving information from yourself and from your guides, outside in the universe and the energy, if you believe in that sort of stuff. And the best way to do that is to meditate.
Are there any modern technologies or apps that help you achieve success?
For me, again, it's one of my weaknesses is staying organized and on point. So I use Google Tasks, one of the task application programs that has everything that I need to do with reminders, with dates, and gets me organized.
What new thing, book, activity, technology, or skill are you really excited to learn and dive into?
Right now, I just switched from my Apple device. I've been I think all my life I've been an Apple iPhone user, as long as they've been out, obviously. And now I just switched to Samsung Android. So right now, technologically speaking, I'm trying to learn the new platform, and I'm fascinated by everything that it has to offer.
And Successors, Alan has a special offer for you. Alan, what is that?
Anybody that's listening to the show and wants to get my book for free, there is a link on Antonio's site, and just go to that, sign up for my list, and you won't get anything that you need to buy after it, but you'll be emailed the ebook version of my new Love Triangle.
All right, Successors, that link is the4pos.com/Alan Vaysberg. Alan, how can our listeners connect with you?
Quite easily. You can go to my website, thenewlovetriangle.com, or you can just simply search me on Google. There are only two Alan Vaysbergs. One is a very nice lawyer in LA, and I'm the other guy.
Finally, Alan, what's your definition of success?
Knowing who you are and loving yourself for it.
Successors, I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Alan Vaysberg. Please check out more successful free content like this at the4pos.com, as well as rate, review, and subscribe wherever you find your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and prepare for success. Thanks, Alan.
My pleasure. Thank you.
If you want to do more, earn more, be more, and stay more motivated, visit Amazon.com right now for a copy of Indulge Your Affirmative Motivation Within, 25 Motivations of Personal Development and Life Success. Get it now at Amazon.com.